Basketball is a sport that brings people together every day. Millions of people bond over basketball, and they even make a living out of it. In the 1979 to 1980 season of the NBA, the three-point line was added. But before it was added, it was experimented with in college ball and European basketball leagues. Surprisingly, the new shot did not catch on with players and fans. Critics says it was a horrible idea, since no player was used to shooting from around 10 feet away from the rim. So almost shooting from 24 feet away sounded like something from another planet. This showed in the following seasons when each team shot just around two shots on average from beyond the arc. When it was first introduced, no form was implemented, as players like Larry Bird and Magic Johnson played with it in their rookie years. Larry Bird called it more of a throw, but teams would let it base whole plays around the shot because of his ability to turn games around.
I don't have really no direction of the ball. I don't really
All
know
right,
where it's going to
gotcha.
go.
Thank you for talking about the history of the three-point line, but now let's get into the science of it. The three-point line has truly revolutionized the game of basketball. It's not only about adding an extra point, it's a whole game changer in terms of player development and strategy. The three-point line encourages spacing on the court. It forces defenses to spread out and cover more ground, opening up lanes for drives to the basket. It's a strategic tool to add new layers of complexity to the game. Moreover, it has changed the way of players have developed their skills. Now having a reliable three-point shot is almost a necessity of players at all positions. The emphasis on shooting has led to some of the most exciting and dynamic offensive basketball we have ever seen. However, some critics argue that it made the game too focused on shooting and less on the aspects of post play, mid range shots. It's a valid point, but the 3-point line isn't going anywhere. It's now an important part of the game, and without it, the game wouldn't be the same. So, in short, to make a long story short, the 3-point line has made basketball a more exciting, strategic, and skill focused game. It reshaped the whole way we play and watch and think about the sport. Hamdan, do you have anything to say about like the greatest 3-point shooters or who like revolutionized it?
Yes, I could actually. So we have the top five best current shooters are listed from first to fifth, and they are Steph Curry, Damon Lillard, Klay Thompson, Luka Doncic, and last but not least, Kevin Durant. But we also have some honorable mentions, which are Larry Bird, Tim Hardaway, Reggie Miller, and Vernon Maxwell. These players paved the way for the best shooters in the league and inspired them to shoot farther than just 10 feet, which used to be the furthest someone would shoot before they added the 3-point line. Some would disagree and say these aren't the best players and they are better players than them. But if you look at their stats and how many 3-pointers they average the game, they all average over 30 points by threes, which is significantly higher than other players.
That's right. So, so I'm gonna be talking about how they paved it. Larry Bird, which was an honorable mention by Hamdan, set the tone back then when he started using the 3-point line, and he was really good at it. So people started realizing how they could also use it. He paved the way for Steph Curry, Damian Lillard, Klay Thompson, and Kevin Durant. Like Hamdan said, these players took Larry's Bird skills, the way he implemented the 3-point line back then, to a whole nother level. The way Steph Curry did it was he actually broke the most three-pointers made in NBA history. So we can see how much of a way Larry Bird paved the way for them, and how he made the 3-point line such something more than just out of this world. Like,
So what you're saying is like when coaches seen Larry Bird shoot the three ball so well, like they made their players like practice a 3-point shot more.
exactly, they realized that it's actually not that hard. It's not alien like. It's the biggest game changer that the NBA has probably ever added to their game.
Did you guys know when the 3-point line was first added, the fans of the NBA actually protested the 3-point line because some people, unfortunately, they don't like change in the game. They don't like change. They're stuck in their ways, and when change comes, then they kind of go haywire. So they didn't like they initially didn't like the look of the 3-point line because they thought it was gonna overtake the game, which they were correct, but the game is still so much more than a 3-point shot.
I actually want to add something to that. I find that really cool because right now people are in the midst of talking about the 4-point line, and I was just wondering if it would be like the same kind of situation with the 3-point line. People protest it and say they didn't want it to change the game, but then after a little bit, people are going to be like, "Oh wow, this is really great," and we should start trying to get good at this.
Oh yeah, wasn't the 4-point line in like one of those 3v3 tournaments?
I think so.
Yeah, I remember it
Yeah,
was called the Ruffles.
I'm pretty sure I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
Yeah.
The Ruffles 3 points. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it was. And I could see why people argue against the 4-point line. There's really no need for it because if you can get an and one from the 3-point line and you make the free throw, that's four right there. So there's no reason to add a 4-point line, you know? It's just
Mm.
it's gonna change the game too much, to be honest. And I can see why a lot of people won't like it.
And also, can we talk about how big men can shoot threes? Like what I mean by big men, if you don't play basketball, it's like the centers and power forwards. Back in the day, it was unheard of for a power forward and a center to shoot. But nowadays, you have players like Jokic, Karl Anthony Towns, and even before those two, Dirk Nowitzki. He was a very good 3-point shot. I think he paved the way for big man shooters in the game because back in the 90s, big men didn't really leave outside the paint, but Dirk Nowitzki, he like stretched the floor out, and he showed the NBA that big people over 7 foot can shoot the three ball too.
Yeah, I wanted to add to that. Additionally, not only big people can shoot threes well, but the 3-point line really gave way for smaller players to get a chance and shot at the NBA because it's known that people that are smaller have a lot easier of a time maneuvering themselves and controlling their balance and things like that. So if they can get open and away from defenders like you were talking about and creating space and from their defense, it will like really give them an easier time shooting the 3-point shot.
Yeah. And I want to go back on what Keyshawn. I want to go back on what Keyshawn said about how tall people can shoot, like the centers nowadays. What was that one new kid? His name was Victor Wembanyama.
Wembanyama.
Yeah. How tall is he again? Like 7'6", 7'6"?
I think you're like 7'5".
Yeah, I think it's like
Now,
7.
now imagine playing a defense where you have he's one of the tallest people in the NBA, if not the tallest, guarding him, and he can just pull threes right in your face. You know how big of a game changer that is? And the fact that he's that tall and can shoot threes from that far is really surprising.
Now, you got anything to add?
Me?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I guess. So remember there's that one game that Jokic played where he clutched up with that mid-range three, and he won his team the whole game, which just proves that even tall people can make shoot threes.
So I know what you're talking about, Hamdan. Like when he hit the fadeaway,
Yep.
over I believe it was Anthony Davis.
It
was a conference. It was the conference finals of last year, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah.
When he hit that fadeaway three.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And speaking of little people, how do you expect little people to drive like the guards? You know, I mean 6'3" is not little, but in the NBA it really is.
Yes, undersized. Yeah.
Yep. Imagine the 3-point line was made, and you had a 6'3" guard, and you know they always take layups, mid ranges. Now imagine the centers are like 6'8", 7 foot back then. So now imagine a 6'3"
and they were
guy
way
trying to
more
score on a
physical,
6'8".
way more physical.
Exactly. So I feel like that helped the little people, the undersized people a lot. And the 3-point, I feel like the 3-point is just right, not too much, not too little.
Yeah.
Okay, and with that, this is gonna be an end. It was really good talking about the history.
Of basketball. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, cut that out. I'm not gonna say it.